Who? It's me. It's me today, everybody. Leonard's going to check the sound. Good morning. Happy Monday morning to you all. Yes, let me log in. I must log into the chat room. Lenny would tell you I should have done this already, but this is all a sound check. Welcome aboard, everybody. We're going to get started on the games in just a minute. We got Lenny in the chat room today, so it's nice for him to be able to join in. And I love the fact that Zelmo's here early, and of course we have Calrona to open the doors. Let's get started. Is Malpal here yet? Can't do the San Diego game without Malpal in the room. Yay, Rotorius, Robert C., Chris Gallo, everybody. Thanks for coming in. All right, we're going to do the San Diego game once Malpal gets here. So let's start off with the one that everybody's talking about, right? You would say, how can you possibly score a run if you don't get a hit the entire game? Well, Pittsburgh was able to do that yesterday against the Reds. Not surprising Reds, right? They're the sixth team in MLB history to be no-hit and still win the game. I believe the last time it happened was in 2008, and it was the Angels, and the Reds got 4 hits. They lose a game in which they allow no hits. Hunter Green. We're going to talk about Hunter Green for a second. So he throws 7 innings. He's a rookie, remember. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, over 100 pitches. Actually, 118 pitches. That's so far this season the most that any starting pitcher has thrown in one outing. But yesterday there were several pitchers. As I went through the games, I noticed more than one, maybe 3 or 4, that actually threw over 100 pitches yesterday, which says to me that these starting pitchers are finally warmed up for the season, stretched out, and ready to go. So Hunter Green, if you remember, was the second pick in the draft in 2017. And he was injured in 2018, but he didn't get Tommy John surgery till 2019. He was ready to play. He was coming back from Tommy John in 2020 when COVID hit, and he didn't pitch all season. So he didn't actually pitch again until 2021. This year, he broke season with the Reds in the rotation, and in his second start of the season he threw 39 pitches over 100 miles an hour. But everybody gets sidetracked. It's like, look over here at this 100 mile an hour velocity, and it's so impressive, la-di-da, but you have to also pay attention to the fact that this guy is definitely not in control. He has to work a lot on his command. He allows a lot of home runs. I think he has the most home runs allowed in baseball. And he entered Sunday's game, which is yesterday, with a 7.62 ERA. And he looked excellent. I really like the guy. I think he's going to be a great young pitcher. But I wouldn't even be... The velocity just doesn't impress me the way that it impresses most people, I think. He's walked 15 batters in 26 innings, 11 home runs allowed, and so I would say be very cautious about Hunter Green. Cincinnati had an opportunity in the 9th inning to score a run, and they just go down 1-2-3. Jose Quintana pitched for the Pirates. He held the Reds scoreless through 7 innings, 3 hits, struck out 5. And David Bednar gets another save, his 7th save of the season so far. This season there's been 2 no-hitters. And yes, I know that Hunter Green didn't count as a no-hitter. As Potato Pete pointed out last night in the chat room for George's show, he said it couldn't have been a no-hitter because the Pirates didn't have to bat in the 9th inning. So regardless of what we think, that's the way it is. But there have been 2 no-hitters in baseball, and both of them happened last week. Like I said, starting pitching is stretched out and ready to go. The catcher for Cincinnati, Tyler Stevenson, he was cleared to play yesterday, but he did not play. He had it was concussion protocol. But it turned out he didn't have a concussion, but this guy's already spent time out with a concussion this season, so they're very cautious about him, and they added Sandy Leon to the taxi squad. We'll see if he starts playing. The good thing is he did get tested for concussion, and it wasn't positive. Joey Votto, he had a decent game in his first rehab down at AAA on Friday, but he did not have a great game last night. He went 0 for 3 at AAA. That was his second rehab start. And then Mike Minor, if you're interested, he made his second rehab start with Louisville. With Louisville, he had a setback in April. He only threw 2 1/3, and he allowed 1 run, but he did strike out 4. So, is Malpal here yet? Leonard, tell me when he gets here so I can do San Diego. Toronto beat Tampa Bay 3-0. They're going to have a 6-game homestand starting today, I believe.
He's here.
Okay, we'll do San Diego next, Malpal. Andrew Kittredge pitched to 9th. He's got his 5th save in 7 attempts. Wander Franco, he got a hit finally. He was 0 for 18 for a second. Alek Manoah, 5 hits, struck out 4, 6 innings. I love the fact that he's always going to give you 6 innings, this guy. Only one of the 3 earned runs only one of the 3 runs were earned. So, 1 earned run. Vladdy Jr., he has a hit streak of 12 games, right? He finally got a hit in the 9th inning. Toronto had 6 hits in the game, but they've lost 6 out of the last 7. George Springer was back in the lineup. You remember when he ran into the wall on Friday night and sprained his ankle? We thought that was kind of scary, but he was back in the lineup, so that's good. And then Manny Margot ahead. He's on an 11-game hitting streak right now. He was actually put on the injured list yesterday with a tight hamstring. We had a call on Sunday about, I don't know, maybe it was one of you in the chat room, but they asked about Kikuchi or Kluber. You have the Blue Jays Kikuchi starting tonight against Chris Flexen. And they're in Toronto, so that's at home. And then you have Kluber pitching tonight against Detroit. You got to take Kikuchi, right? That's just Lenny and I actually agreed on that, which is not normal. So hopefully we're right, okay? Yuli Gurriel, the Astros beat the Nationals 8-0. You didn't think they were going to let them get away with what they did to them on Friday night, right? I mean, seriously, I think Houston pitchers allowed 13 runs on Friday. They said no more of that, okay? Justin Verlander comes in. He's excellent so far this season. He's throwing over 100 pitches, and I love it. I forgot San Diego again. I'll go back. Yuli Gurriel, though, people were ready to give up on this guy. They think he's done. He went 8 for 12 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs in the series against the Nationals. So this is the type of guy that you don't just get rid of after a couple weeks, all right? Jose Altuve, Martin Maldonado, Chas McCormick all had home runs yesterday. Houston ended 11-game winning streak. The 11-game winning streak. Anyway, Verlander was excellent, okay? That's all I have to say. Astros pitchers tossed their 4th shutout in 7 games, okay? Verlander crushed it. No-hitter into the 8th inning in his last start. Right now he's 5-1. Last night he didn't allow a hit until the 5th inning. Of course, Dusty Baker allowed him to stay in, and he got it done he threw 107 pitches, caused on his last pitch, Juan Soto grounded out. He struck out 5 and he walked 3. That's his 7th start since returning from Tommy John. He's an excellent. And then you have Patrick Corbin on the other side. Who would have thunk this, right? Would have happened. Patrick Corbin is now 0-6. The only reason that he's on anybody's fantasy team at this point is because of his name. That's it. It's definitely not this guy's stats because he hasn't been good in a long time. So let's get over it. Forget the name Patrick Corbin and move on. 5 runs, 6 hits, 6 innings. Every time you throw Corbin out on the mound, you're going to lose the game. That's the way it is. So stop throwing him out on the mound because you're going to lose the game. Okay. What else you got if you can't make yourself laugh, right? Let's see. Oh, I was going to play a sound effect for you guys, but no. I don't know how to work the app. I just know how to record, and that's it. San Diego scored 7 times. Atlanta scored 3. And Kim, Kim is he's like the hero of the game. San Diego scored 4 runs in the 11th. Hello?
Shit, my chair broke.
All right, we're fine over here. The Padres, they scored 4 runs in the 11th to win the 3-game series against Atlanta. And this guy, Nabil Krismat, looked wonderful. 4 strikeouts and 2 scoreless innings. If you get a chance to watch the highlights, he looks great as a pitcher, okay? So, the Braves had 3 errors in this game. They really could have won this game if it weren't for the errors committed. That led to 4 unearned runs. Olsen, Riley, and Swanson, 3 of their best hitters, of course, are committing errors. Dansby Swanson did hit a home run, a 2-run homer. Kyle Wright, 3 runs allowed, 1 earned. So only 1 of 3 earned, of course, because of those stupid errors that they were making. 3 hits, and he pitched 6 1/3. 9 strikeouts for Kyle Wright. Joe Musgrove, 3 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits in 6 innings. And Robinson Cano, right? I should check the chat room right now about Robinson Cano. Anyway, he signed with San Diego on Friday. That was questionable. He was designated for assignment by the Mets. He went 0 for 5 in his Padres debut. So, Kim is the hero of the game. As I said, he started at third base, and Cronenworth made his first start of the season at shortstop. But Kim did at one point get caught on the base path, so he did get an out, but he made up for it in great fashion when he drove in runs, and that's what the fans love to see. So, we'll let you We'll give you a pass on getting caught with your base running. He did steal a base too, I think. So, anyways, that game started at 11:37 in the morning. That was the earliest known start for either team. The Braves, whatever, we don't need to know. The Braves hadn't started a game before noon since '89. The Padres since '98. As far as injuries, Blake Snell's coming back to the rotation. He's going to start at Milwaukee on Wednesday night. He made 3 rehab starts, and so that means that Mackenzie Gore and Nick Martinez will be in the bullpen. Blake Snell coming back on Wednesday. And then, of course, on the other side, the talk of the town, Acuna, he's got a sore groin, so it's not his knee. That's a good thing. He missed his 4th consecutive game, though. I think they're just being very cautious with this guy. I would, too. But, he is one of those guys. He's so energetic. When he comes back, he's just, on fire. There's no structural damage, according to an MRI that was done on Saturday. So they are not putting him on the injured list. He actually could return today. I know they're just going to be very cautious with him. Why wouldn't they be, right? And you have, so we did that game. Now I'm going back to the next. Astros just crushed the Nationals 8-0. You knew about that. Odorizzi's pitching tonight. I picked him up in Tout Wars. He's been very good, okay? 3.38 ERA. He's 3-2, so we'll see. Baltimore, yay! What about, I should say Detroit before I start cheering about Biggie. Baltimore and Detroit. Detroit Tigers beat Baltimore yesterday 5-1. Miggy's great. You know that an interesting thing about this, he's just crushing it. In May, he's hitting all kinds of things. He just hit his 505th career home run. You remember just, a short time ago that he hit his 500th home run. And Tarek Skubal, he looked excellent. He is just pitching lights out for this team. He's got also, he's young and he throws the ball really hard and he does struggle with his command sometimes, but he just looks great. He also has a little more experience than the next guy, than the Hunter Green situation. Anyways, the Detroit Tigers' first sweep this season. Yay for the first series sweep. Miggy Cabrera, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. The Tigers have now won 3 straight. This is the team I thought they would be. I really was hoping that they would be good, but I just love Miguel Cabrera. What was I going to say about him? He's just, I was going to tell you. His contract doesn't even end until, is it better?
Yeah, it's better now.
Someone was calling you, Leonard. All right. I was hoping that you heard what I said, but let me just repeat it because it's important. Miguel Cabrera is signed through 2024. He's got another couple years to be just accomplishing milestone after milestone after milestone. And it's just great fun to watch and just everything. I'm sure the Detroit Tigers fans, I know we have a couple in the chat room. I'm sure you feel the same as I do about Miggy. All right, back to the game. Miggy has a 6-game hitting streak, by the way, and he's batting in those 6 games .500. He's just on a tear right now. Skubal, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks. Skubal was not even feeling that great, but I'll tell you what. You look at his stats; they don't even tell you anything compared to what you could see. If you look at you look at the highlights from the game and you see this guy pitching, he just looks great. The Orioles struck out 16 times yesterday. That's a season worst on the season. And Trey Mancini hit a home run. That was in the 9th inning, and that was the only reason that they didn't get shut out in back-to-back games. Pineda, we already know about him. Placed on the 15-day injured list with a right middle finger fracture. Struck by a line drive. He's huge. This guy is huge. Austin Hayes wasn't in the lineup for the 3rd consecutive game. Something is wrong with his hand. That's very disturbing for fantasy managers. Victor Reyes for the Tigers. He was reinstated from the 10-day injured list prior to yesterday's game, right? He had a left quad strain that he had been recovering from. Then he was removed in the 2nd inning yesterday with the right quad strain. This guy has a problem with quads, apparently, okay? Austin Meadows, he's got an inner ear infection. He left after the 1st inning, but Hinch said both Victor Reyes and Austin Meadows are going to the injured list. Back on the injured list. There is a highlight for a new Tigers pitcher. This guy, Alex Fado, Detroit Tigers, he's going to start tonight, okay, at Tampa Bay. He's made 2 starts. He's a rookie. The first start was a 5-inning. He pitched 5 innings against Oakland, and he gave up 2 runs and struck out 7. You know that the Tigers have great youngsters coming up on their squad, so keep an eye out for these guys. He's already pitched 2 starts, and he's 0-1 with a 3.60 ERA. But check him out. Going to Tampa. Colton Wong. Let's see. I think he played in his 1,000th game yesterday. He homered, singled, and he walked 3 times, and the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Marlins 7-3. That was his 1,000th Major League game. He stole 2 bases, okay? So this guy stole 2 bases, homered, singled, and walked 3 times. And you know the key to stealing bases is getting on base. So Colton Wong, he was on fire on his 1,000th game of his career. Jace Peterson, Rowdy Tellez, both home run. Brandon Woodruff, let's see what happens to him. He limited Miami to 3 runs and 5 hits in his 5 innings. He walked 2 and struck out 6. It looks like you're getting a little glimpse of the old Brandon Woodruff, okay? Ashby is now a reliever. He came in after Woodruff yesterday. He pitched 4 hitless innings. Maybe this guy is just meant to be a bullpen guy, but, I've seen glimpses of stardom from this Aaron Ashby pitcher. And I wonder I think that they're just struggling to try to figure out where to fit him in. Because he comes in yesterday and pitches 4 hitless innings, struck out 8, okay, and got his first save. This is the type of guy that is helpful in your lineup regardless of if he's a starter or a bullpen guy. It looks like he's better in the bullpen than he is as a starter so far in his career. But he's going to think of it. If you come in and relieve the starter, you only have to throw 1 pitch to qualify for a win. If you're a starting pitcher, you have to stay in there 5 innings, which is becoming more and more of a rarity. You're Aaron Ashby. You come in the 4th inning, you throw 4 scoreless innings, you get a save or a win. The chances of getting wins, they go up now in the bullpen. So Aaron Ashby is not somebody to leave on the waiver wire, in my opinion. Alicia Hernandez pitched for the Marlins, and he allowed 4 runs in the 5th inning. Rowdy Tellez, I already told you he hit a homer. That's his 8th homer of the season. Willie Adames left with a right ankle strain in the bottom of the 7th. So, yes, he made a successful hard slide at home, but once he reached his feet, he limped towards the dugout. He actually tried to play through it before he got yanked out. He's tied with Hunter Renfroe for the team's most 9 home runs on the team. He'll be reevaluated today. The Marlins, they recalled Lewin Diaz from AAA. He was the 2021 AAA Player of the Year. He's got 6 home runs and 30 RBIs in 32 games with the Jumbo Shrimp. Okay? The Jumbo Shrimp. Hold on, I'm checking the chat room. Just checking in the chat room. Please review Chase Silseth. Did he pitch yesterday? I'm only going through the games from yesterday. I remember seeing him on MLB channel. I think he pitched very good, didn't he? I could be wrong about this. I'm not going to check the chat room anymore. Because it really... Are you participating in the chat room, Leonard?
I'm participating.
Okay. Keep them happy while I find my place. Okay. I told you, the Marlins recalled Lewin Diaz from AAA Jacksonville. He was the Player of the Year last year for AAA, and I just love the name Jumbo Shrimp. Okay? In 32 games with the Jumbo Shrimp, Lewin Diaz already had 6 homers and 30 ribbies. Okay? So, that's a good thing. And then, plug your ears, Malpal. Luzardo has a left forearm strain. I already know you know this from yesterday. Placed on the 15-day injured list and retroactive to May 12th. He won't be back till June. Tonight, Freddie Peralta. All right, he's going as the scheduled starter for the Brewers. And they're at home against Atlanta. He's not starting off the season that great. But we'll see what happens. I bring him up because I know a lot of people are interested in him. The Mariners and the Mets. So I saw on Friday night or Saturday night, I saw all these Mets fans really annoyed at Jesse Winker. And I didn't put it together that Jesse Winker wasn't even a Met. For some reason in my head, I just thought, oh, he's a former Met and he now is playing for the Mariners. And so that's why all of the Mets fans hate him. And then, of course, Lenny points out to me that he came from the Reds. He never even played for the Mets. And so I had to look it up. Why are the Mets fans so angry at Jesse Winker? Apparently there's some kind of a brawl dispute thing going on between Jesse Winker and Mets fans. I don't remember what it is, but anyway, that's just a story. So the Mets fans do not like Jesse Winker. Anyways, Trevor McGill, he's got inflammation in his bicep. He's on the injured list. Colden Holderman has been selected from Syracuse to take the roster spot. And Trevor May is moved to the 60-day injured list. The rookie, Julio Rodriguez, who Lenny and I both agreed that there was no chance in anywhere that he was going to start with the Mariners to open the season. And he did. And I think he definitely can steal a base. There's no doubt about it. So far in his MLB career, he's stolen bases, but he's had trouble. He hit his second home run yesterday, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. He hit his second home run. He also had... did he steal a base? I think I saw him stealing a base. I think, this guy is alert on the base paths. There's no doubt about it. The game highlights, they showed him he looks around, he gets up, and he just starts running without question. He's got a knack, absolutely, for stealing bases. So I think that's his best asset, is his base running capabilities. Pete Alonso got struck out by Diego Castillo. Robbie Ray. Oh, Lord. Robbie Ray. This guy cannot get deep into games. It seems like he just blows up. Every time he goes deep into games, he just is starting to do his old tricks of walking batters all the time. It's not good. Ray, grunting loudly on every pitch, retired his final 7 batters after Nimmo tripled off of him. He did have 14 straight retired batters, before the 9th inning, so that's good. That's a surprising. Obviously, I didn't watch Ray yesterday, but I was just dreading what I was going to see. And it's great. It's a wonderful surprise for me. His fastball averaged 94.3 miles an hour, well above his season average of 92.7. All right. And that was, that's close to the velocity. I think a lot of people have been concerned about the low, the fact that he had a drop in velocity. But when he was excellent last year, his velocity was about where it is now. New York Mets went 5 for 22 against Ray after entering with a .213 average against lefties. So Mets can't hit lefties. They actually batted .263 against righties, and they're .213 against lefties. So the Mets have some serious splits going on. What else do we got? I told you about Tyler McGill. Tonight, Chris Flexen is going up against Kikuchi. And then with McGill out and David Peterson having thrown 89 pitches on Friday at AAA Syracuse, I told you Trevor Williams is the most likely candidate to start tonight against St. Louis. And Mikolas, 1.49 ERA on Mikolas? He's 3-1. He's third in the majors in ERA entering yesterday. He's going to go up against this guy, Trevor Williams, which is like third on the Mets list of on their wish list. He's not in the top. Okay. Cleveland. So Joe Ryan, we talk about, he allowed 1 run over 6 innings, and I love Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton and Gio Urshela hit solo home runs, and the Twins beat Cleveland 3-1. So Ryan, another pitcher that threw over 100 pitches, a career-high 103 pitches. He struck out 5. His only problem came in the 4th inning when Jose Ramirez, that's not surprising, hit over the right field over into the right field stands. That was his, how many home runs? 8 home runs so far. He's still not in the lead for home runs. So Joe Ryan, he walked a bunch of batters last time, but he did not issue any walks this time. He actually walked 5 batters in his last start, and this time he didn't walk anybody. That's huge. Buxton sat out on Saturday. Buxton has more homers. He hit 11th home run of the season. I just love it. He's already missed 12 games, and he's hit 11 homers. That's the second most in the majors. He trails only Judge. And Urshela, that was his 2nd home run of the season. So Minnesota leads the American League Central by 3 games over Cleveland and Chicago. But you better watch out because the White Sox are coming back. Believe me, they are not going to be behind for long. Tristan McKenzie, he's excellent. Even though he's 2-3, he still looks great this season. He allowed 3 runs on... Wait, maybe he doesn't look good this season. Is Tristan McKenzie good, Leonard? I think I was confusing him. I think I was confusing him with Shane McClanahan, who is very good, and who knows how I got those two confused. Yeah, very different. Buxton, listen, all I could just talk about Buxton all day because he's my favorite. I can't decide who's my favorite between Buxton or Manny Machado, but I mean, I think they're both in the top 2 of fame. Franmil Reyes, he played through leg tightness yesterday that flared up in the 2nd inning, and he shouldn't be playing through leg tightness because he's not that sturdy when he gets hurt. I do not like when players try to play through things that they could easily just rest for the rest of the game and just let it calm down for a second. But no, they think they're these heroes, and they go out there and their leg is already hurt or whatever. And I probably sound like a mother. That's how mothers think. Just rest for now, and you could go back in when you're feeling better. Rocco Baldelli got kicked out of the game the other night Anyways, he says that they hope to see Carlos Correa return this week. Correa has a contusion. He has a right middle finger contusion. He's eligible to return today. I don't know. Do you put Carlos Correa in your lineup? He's eligible to return today, and he will be traveling with the team to Oakland today. If it were me, I would probably put him in. I think he's going to play. If he's traveling with the team, it's good. I think that's a great sign. The Yankees and the White Sox. Aaron Judge, home run number 12. Giancarlo Stanton, home run number 10. And Anthony Rizzo, home run number 9, have combined for more home runs than half of the teams in the entire major leagues. Think of that. 12 plus 10 plus 9 is. It's crazy that those 3 hitters have more home runs than half of the teams in the majors. Is that possible, Leonard? Nestor?
Possible.
Is it possible?
Yes, I even have the teams.
Oh.
I have the teams, but I didn't give them to you.
Well, you should share them with the chat room. Share the teams that have less home runs as a team than those 3 Yankees combined. Mm-hmm.
All right, just keep going. I'll get it.
Nestor Cortez pitched a career-high 8 innings. Michael Kopitz. I'm telling you, this guy has problems. All right. The New York Yankees managed just 2 hits. A single in the second by your boy, Kiner Falefa, and a 2-run homer by Joey Gallo in the 9th. But that was just enough, okay? That was enough to get it done because apparently neither did the White Sox. Cortez, okay, since his first big league outing of the season back in 2021 on May 30th, he has an American League low 2.44 ERA over 133 innings. He's allowed 3 runs or fewer in 16 straight starts, matching Luis Severino in 2018 for the second longest streak in franchise history. That's excellent for this Nestor Cortez. Clay Holmes finished the 4-hitter for New York's 18th win in 21 games. I think they have the best record in baseball. They beat the White Sox, unfortunately for you, Daniel. Plug your ears. They beat 3 out of 4 in this series. Kopech, 6 innings, 1 hit for Chicago. He had 5 sharp innings and 1 real bad one. This is going to be the story of Kopech's career. 5 good innings and 1 disaster. Just better than Vincent Velasquez, but kind of like that. Adam Engel homered for Chicago with 1 out in the 8th, but of course Nestor Cortez took care of that with retiring the next 2 hitters. Domingo Germán, right shoulder impingement. He's scheduled to start throwing live batting practice this week. Boone says that Germán will be built up as a starter going forward. And on the other side, the White Sox, of course, you have Yoan Moncada out of the starting lineup. He was 4 for 13 with 2 home runs in the first 3 games of the series. La Russa said it was just a day off. Why are you giving a guy a day off when he's hitting? Especially guys like this. I mean, this guy has not been in with it's momentum, you know what I mean? Like, he's not been in momentum since before 2020 when he got COVID really bad, and he just didn't come back from that. And now he's going 4 for 13 with 2 homers in the first 3 games of the series. And then Tony La Russa decides, it's a scheduled day off. That makes no sense to me. He was available off the bench, but he didn't put him in. So you also have Giolito, who's on COVID IL. My tablet just died. Let me pull up my notes on my other device here, okay? Forgive me, but we're taking a commercial break. My tablet just went dead.
Oh.
That's all right, Leonard.
Okay, you want to use this?
No, I'm good. I'm almost done.
Good.
I'll finish it right now if you're annoyed.
No, I'm not annoyed. I'm not annoyed. Just keep it going.
let's move on to the next game. Noah Syndergaard. All right. Patrick Sandoval. Let's do the Angels and the A's. We're doing the Angels and the A's. I feel bad because I'm skipping a game here. I take too long to do the games. So what? Okay, I don't feel in Lenny's shoes that great, but at least I try, and I do try. And he does not. There's nobody that could do it like him. So Ohtani homered for the second consecutive game, and the Angels beat the Athletics 5-1. I don't know why Trout and Ward, their two best players, were sitting out on Saturday. It doesn't make any sense. But the day before, Ohtani became the third Japanese-born player to reach 100 homers in the majors. He belted his 101st homer, 8th homer of the season. It was 425 feet, okay? Patrick Sandoval finally pitched good into the 6th inning, got back on track after a pair of horrible outings, and that was after saying on the first start of the season that he had arm fatigue. So he has arm fatigue. He comes back, a couple bad outings. Yesterday, redeems himself. He allowed 1 run and 4 hits. His ERA is 1.91. And he just has a problem with walks sometimes. So if he can keep the walks down, he's a good pitcher. Anthony Rendon had 2 hits and an RBI. And, of course, Taylor Ward. He must be he's like Trout Jr. Frankie Montas, season high 12 strikeouts in 6 innings and allowed 4 hits and 2 runs. He's still winless since April 18th. Sheldon Neuse was rested for the first time this season. He started the last 33 games. He's playing third base. Noah Syndergaard coming up tonight. Syndergaard he'll start against the Texas Rangers. He beat the Rangers in April. He's allowed 2 runs or fewer in 4 of his 5 starts so far this season. Frank Schwindel had thank goodness Schwindel, a tie-breaking single in the 9th innings. We're talking about the Cubbies now. You should have seen, if you didn't see that game, some of the highlights are great in this game. Patrick Wisdom, Rafael Ortega, both of these guys homered. I mean, if Rafael Ortega is around, you should probably take a look at him. That's for sure. Cubbies, they've won 4 of the last 6 games after they had a 3-14 stretch, which was horrible. Justin Steele, Cubbies starter, struck out 10, gave up 1 earned run and didn't walk anybody. 3 hits in 6 innings. Cubbies, now you have Seiya Suzuki. He went 1 for 3, but his beauty is not just in hitting. This guy made a diving catch yesterday. He's absolutely useful all-around player for sure. He's making great plays, catching, diving, doing all that. Arizona, they're 7-4 in 1-run games. Ortega, I do think, go check out this guy, Rafael Ortega. He hit the second pitch of the game, 428 feet. Love it. Arizona starting pitchers are 8-0 with a 2 ERA in the last 15 games. That's beautiful. That's the second lowest in the majors to the Dodgers, and we will see this team is going to play in Los Angeles starting today. Ortega, 31st birthday wait a minute, I thought this guy was young. Doesn't seem like he's young at 31, but he's hitting good. Anderson Simmons was activated. Nico Horner was placed on the injured list in a corresponding move. Seth Beer was optioned to AAA Reno. We already knew that. All right, we're skipping that. Phillies, LA, Gavin Lux. I don't know if this guy is a positive or negative for the Dodgers. Yes, he scored a run. He got this, walk-off hit. But he makes errors and stuff constantly. And, he's still young, so I'm not trying to knock him. It's just that he just is not great defensively. He makes errors, and so that is where you suffer with Gavin Lux in your lineup. The Phillies were ahead in this game, and Mookie Betts, this is the Phillies. Let me tell you what my favorite part about this game was. Odubel Herrera standing up at the plate, and the ball goes between his legs. The pitch goes between his legs, and he's swinging at it. You might not be able to appreciate that, but Odubel Herrera, it just doesn't surprise me at all. So, anyway, the Phillies, they actually scored 4 unearned runs, and they avoided a sweep, 5-4. They were ahead 4-0. Then Lux made the error. Wait a minute. I thought that Lux hit a walk-off yesterday.
I don't know.
I said, I'm done with this podcast.
One more game.
One more game?
Yeah.
San Francisco?
Right.
All right. Albert Pujols. Whoopee. I'm so glad I did this game. Albert Pujols, okay. He really got to go out and pitch yesterday for the fans in St. Louis. And just what a wonderful team. I mean, I want to say that the Cardinals have the classiest team, but then I think, like, what's a team that's not classy? They all have levels of class, whatever. But the Cardinals are above and beyond most teams in baseball. They do great things. They look out for their players. They always have been good at this. And when they signed Albert Pujols to come back, what a treat for the St. Louis fans, and what a treat yesterday to see Albert Pujols out on the mound pitching, just having a great time. He did a great interview after the game. What a fun time. Okay, I wish I could have been there. That's something that I really would have loved to see. All right, Yadi Molina homered and drove in 4 runs. Wainwright came back. Love it. 6 effective innings with these two, Wainwright and Molina. I would have loved to have been at this game. It just doesn't get better than those 3, okay? Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado both had 2-run homers for the Cardinals. I just love this game yesterday. I wish I would have been there. Did I mention I wish I would have been at this game? Okay. The Cardinals took 2 of 3 in the series after losing 2 of 3 to Baltimore. Still, Goldie, Arenado, Wainwright, Yadi Molina, Albert Pujols, all in the same game doing great things. And that's the end of today's podcast. I'm going to take Leonard to get his colonoscopy. We prepped all day yesterday. We had popsicles and chicken broth all day long, and we're all ready to go. And that's it. He'll be fine. The hardest part was just not eating for 24 hours. I mean, he thinks he does this for Yom Kippur every year. He goes without food and water. So he says, of course, this is much easier because the chicken broth at least gives you some protein and it puts something in your tummy, but not having any water, beverages, or anything like that. And everybody was telling him how bad this was going to be, drinking this stuff for the colonoscopy. You have to drink some the night before. You have to drink some the morning of. And, I mean, my mom said she threw up when she took it. The second day she had to throw up. Lenny liked it. Okay? This guy liked it. So, we'll be back in action, and we're looking forward to having food. And Lenny will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Monday.